Let's go.
We're back for part 2 or part something I don't fucking remember. D&D with the squad. I'm gonna go again to my left and introduce each other.
Share your camera now?
But
Okay, that's fine.
that interruption kind of fucked me up.
Okay.
But we have a lovely addition for part whatever. Damian! Coming back as Ginger.
Hey guys!
But to my left, we have...
Oh, me, Namco Nemesis. I'll be your DM for the evening.
Some of my bitch. Sweet Jesus.
Oh.
It's clockwise done.
Well, you always like to skip me. But anyway.
With that being said, John, go ahead. Go ahead.
Adontron, playing as Harvey Birdman, Al Birdman.
You're Batboy.
No, it's Batbird.
Whatever.
Oh, because I listen to the sounds since I can't see.
That was a little bit of bullshit, but that's neither here nor there.
Bird brain.
Like I do sling a lot of bullshit while I play, but you know.
Yeah.
Birds
It works.
can hear pretty good.
Huh?
Birds can hear pretty good.
Yeah, they can.
But he was trying to say, since he lost his sight, but he was in a dim room, so his sight wasn't lost, that his hearing got better. You have to lose one for the others to get better.
I don't know if you always have to.
Yeah, I think you could blindfold yourself, but if you sit rock around blindfolded long enough, your other senses will heighten.
Listen, I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
Have you not seen Bloodsport?
Have you not seen Bird Box?
That's right.
I mean, off the top of their head, 2 excellent movies that demonstrate exactly what they're talking about.
I mean, I can't call them.
I mean, that's like almost scientific evidence, right?
Teen Wolf does it.
That's true too.
So, bringing it back home real quick.
You want to be back? I'm here.
Everyone right now is at this point is finishing at the end of the the short rest, the overnight 8-hour kind of thing that you guys did. You guys have caught up on some missing levels you had and some spells and stuff.
I wasn't playing correctly.
And recuperated, used some hit die. Everyone seems to be kind of doing okay now. And everyone's kind of like in this little alcove, recovering, and we'll go from there. What's going on? What are you guys doing? What are we doing?
Are we gonna talk about the guy in the corner?
I forgot he was here.
Anyone?
I mean, your guy's literally been dragging him around like half the time. Come on.
This is true. Is he even awake?
I mean, he should be by now.
You awake?
His eye, he's been awake. He's like just kind of looking at everyone. He doesn't. You would think that someone who is captured and surrounded by dozens of enemies would be scared, but there's not even a hint of fear on the drow's face.
He's awake.
What do you guys want to ask him? Because how many of us can speak Undercommon here?
I can't.
You know, honestly, I don't think anything he tells us is going to be truth. I think we should use, Stool to just kind of, mind bog.
Mind melt him?
Mind meld.
Wait, did Stowe say he can do the mind thing? I thought he
No,
couldn't do the
but when
mind
he
thing.
uses his
doesn't.
spores, we all understand each other.
Oh, that's true for the communication.
No, but I'm just saying, he has, gone into your brains once in a while, and showed you like shared visions. So I'm pretty sure we can. Well, Stool, what do you think? Can you
Tamper around in his head?
Oh yeah, that's right. Stowe, are you reading?
Yeah, we'll say you got, yeah.
Can you pull memories?
Much of that depends on the other person being willing, but
What if we
it's...
break his mind?
What?
If his mind is broken to where he can't resist, can you just dip in and get what you need?
A broken mind may not have anything for me to go and extract.
How about a weakened mind?
It's certainly worth a shot. I'm not sure how much time we want to spend doing this, but we can try.
What if I hit him a
Got
couple
10 minutes.
times?
Sorry, you both said something at the same time.
Go ahead.
What if we hit him a couple times?
I can do better than hit if you guys want to.
I just want to hit something.
Well, we could start by asking first. I mean, I just don't think I'm going to trust anything he says, but we can start there.
Well,
Then hit him, then do whatever crazy thing you're going to do.
All right, give me 1 second.
We should have one person at all times attentively trying to see if he's lying or telling the truth to us.
Okay, well, which one of us is a better lie detector?
At this point, I grabbed him and threw him in the middle of us, all of us.
Okay. And he kind of like drops to his knees, and I'm assuming his hands are bound behind his back. And he just kind of like looks up, and he's even like defiantly glaring at a few of you.
Out of character, I'm just gonna say this. I have a 5 on insight.
I only have a +1, so I ain't going to shit.
I'm proficient in insight, but I only get a +2.
So
I don't have any pluses on the insight, so.
So can we do it like?
If you want to be the one that's just quiet and attentively watching him while we do questions, that would probably be best then.
Okay.
Spore. I mean,
Still
Why do we call him Stool?
Wait,
That's his name.
That's his
That's
name.
his legit name. He told us.
One more question for the DM. If we're gonna do that, where I'm like quietly watching, should I just wait until they're all done their questions and then just say I'm rolling my insight, or should it?
Ooh, we're gonna have you roll ahead of time, actually.
Okay.
Can we give him?
Let's say we get 3 attempts and he rolls 3 times. Each person gets. You want to ask questions, you want to hit, and I want to torture. So if he rolls 3 ahead of time, you can pick and choose which roll he applies to which one.
Or can we help him? Give him the.
And you're just trying to determine if anything that this drow says is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to ascertain if what he's saying is truthful or
Yeah, so with insight,
if it's useful information, maybe based on that.
But now with insight, you can basically with the check decides whether you can determine the true intentions of a creature, such as when searching out a lie or predicting someone's next move. Doing so involves gleaning clues from body language, speech habits, and changes in mannerisms.
Yeah.
Okay, there he goes.
Alright, so in the brain communique, I want to say, so guys, what do we really want to find out from this guy?
I think best would be where he came from, if there's a group we need to worry about, where they might be located so you can maybe best get the Stool's place.
I remember where we picked him up.
He was on the web.
Okay.
He cut us off on the webs from going across.
Okay, cool.
So good cop, bad cop, worst cop.
That's exactly what I was thinking in my
Pretty much
mind.
how it's gonna end up.
Why don't you two start prepping and looking kind of whatever, and I'm going to try to convince him to talk to me before you guys have to go up.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Can I intimidate him?
Hold on, let him do his.
You could do-
Remember,
you could do-
good cop, bad cop, worst cop. Let him do his 1, 2, 3.
No, but as he's trying to be good cop, I can be behind him.
Trying to intimidate. Yeah, sure. Roll intimidation.
You never asked. Well, you never established what I need to do for my
Is
insight.
it,
I think I don't think we need to do 3 separate rolls for that, because this interaction is what you're going to be paying attention to, so like start to finish. So I would say what's your modifier for insight?
5.
I want to say, okay, here's what we'll do. What'd you get for intimidation?
15.
And do you get any bonus to that?
That's with the bonus. It was a 14
Okay.
plus 1, 15.
Based on his intimidation, which we'll say is successful, you can have advantage on insight. So him intimidating, just, again, we're not like in it yet, but like as you're going to interrogate.
Do we all get an advantage on that, or just him and him?
Yeah, I would say any checks for insight would get advantage.
Insight. Not your
Because-
torture.
I want to check insight on all 3 of them.
And here's why.
Okay.
Well, no, you're going to be checking the insight for this individual for this interrogation.
So should I roll now?
You can do advantage on that now, yeah. And the reason you're getting advantage is the intimidation, since it is successful, is kind of keeping this drow off balance. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
22.
Okay, so you will definitely be able to tell whether he is lying or not.
Okay.
sweet. So then I'm going to.
Well, he's going first, right?
No. He's gonna be good
bad
cop.
worst.
Oh.
He's gonna be good cop. I'm gonna be evil cop, and he's gonna be the devil.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
There you
I'm
go.
going to use my persuasion just to persuade him to talk to me
We gotta
rather
get
than,
game faces on.
and be honest with you, rather than having to deal with those 2.
Okay.
That cool?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a good cop.
Well,
There's a good
persuasion.
face.
Oh, hey.
Oh goddamn.
With the assist, natural 20.
He put it at 14, but it. That is a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Plus 6, 26.
Okay.
That was some straight bullshit, but I love it.
That is a fantastic roll. I do want to go on record as saying combat natural 20s are, we've already got like the max crit, max damage
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, totally.
It's not going to be an automatic success in
Understood.
situations like this, because I don't want to set a precedent of like, oh, I want to seduce the dragon.
Right, no, I get it.
But
it's
a 26,
But it's a
That
26.
would be something
You-
you want to do.
With an
Now-
18.
now here's the question.
15.
Now here's the question: what does a 26 sound like when you're trying to persuade someone?
Hey, bud. Let me talk to you for a second.
Okay, he kind of shifts his gaze to you, and he's looking at you.
Now, I don't really know these guys as much as you may have known them, but I've known with them long enough, and I've seen that guy over there rip people apart. That guy over there feed people to spiders. And to be honest with you, they took their time doing it. It was like really.
I
really
started
fun.
at the toes,
So.
then I worked my way
How
up.
about you and I make a deal? We have a chat. You tell me what we need to know, and I will let them. I'll convince them to let you just get the hell out of here.
Can I cut him yet?
What assurances do I have?
Well, pretty much own most of the food here. They kind of look at me like the pseudo leader. You know, that's what they say. So this guy right here, he just wants to beat something up. He's just mad. Look at him.
Can I cut him?
Just chill for a second, man.
I'm listening.
All right, look, we don't need to know much. We just need to know, where you came from, and if we're heading towards, can we tell them where we're heading? No, we're heading further into the Underdark. We just need to know, if we need to look out for more of your buds up ahead. That's all. Just give us the heads up.
Our drow search parties rarely go this deep and this far away from our city.
So why are you guys down here then if you're not really going this far?
We had word that there were some prisoners that escaped from one of our outposts, and we were requested to assist in gathering intel and possibly apprehending.
Yeah, all right, so you heard word, and I guess they're looking for exactly us, or you're just picking up any random guys that come around?
Based on descriptions we were given, we know who we're seeking. We know you are the ones that escaped.
Give me a second. So who's to say if we let you go that you're not going to say where we are?
The fact that I value my life.
I need a better insurance than that.
Why did you escape? Why did you want to get free?
Why would I want to be a slave?
Why would I want to die?
Stretch out his leg. We're going to cut the leg.
We were shoveling shit, a lot of it. He practically was covered in it at one point. That's why he's gonna really take it out. I need you to give me just a little bit more about how much into the search are you guys going? Are you guys like really hardcore? There's other guys you could chase.
Often in our society, the males, we just have to do what we're told. It's just the way it works.
That's
I don't have a choice.
Society.
I don't have a choice either way, whether I work in the city or I go out on patrol. I do what I'm told.
Hey guys, honestly, if we do let him, there's a good chance again. He is telling us it.
Ingress, earmuffs. I'm gonna have him earmuff the guy so he can't hear us.
Okay.
I was communicating through.
Let's not proceed.
No,
He's on the
he's
sport,
spored too, so he can hear us.
Is he?
Yeah, because he speaks under.
I would say no, because Stool did that in the middle with everyone, and then this guy was brought and then tossed into the middle after they were already released.
But how are we communicating with him?
He
Happens
speaks,
to speak the
he
same
speaks
language?
undercommon and I speak undercommon, so we can communicate.
I don't speak undercommon.
That's what I'm saying. We do. So
So
can
you
speak
guys are
naturally.
telepathing communicating right now. The drow is not involved
While
in
he's
that.
talking, I can just translate for them telepathically.
Correct.
We'll
that.
say
Yeah.
that.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
Because I just talked to him and he answered. That's why I don't speak Underdark.
Okay.
Yeah, that's again on the premise that there's like
Gotcha.
translating being done.
Okay.
Well, earmuff him anyway.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean it's still
Ingress
good.
earmuffs him.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, we don't know if he knows
I
whatever.
say we kill him.
Well, you're meant to be a bit of a liar, but then again, I don't really
I
care.
kind of figure if we kill him,
His
we
orders,
can.
regardless, are to report. Once he's out of here, all he has to do is report. We're never going to see him again.
So
Can I use my insight now?
Yeah. I mean, your insight you roll. You can confidently tell them that everything that he is saying, you picked up on body language and everything. He's telling the truth.
Okay, so everybody. I was watching everything, and everything that he's responding, the tone, his vocals, everything that's in legit. He's not gonna do. He just wants to be gone. He values his life over, the mission.
no, that's good that he's telling the truth now. But who's to say when he gets free that doesn't change? That changes.
I think, given the benefit of the doubt before he leaves,
We cut off the
I
toes.
can give him a little bit extra incentive to not report.
If we get anybody chasing us, this is on you guys.
We have people chasing us already, doesn't matter. But if we can keep him quiet and not have to kill him at this moment,
I kind of feel like he's gonna say it, but go ahead, do it.
let me let him go.
All right, we just had a little powwow. Would you say that you're the deepest party from your group?
Definitely.
So nothing else further ahead of us. You're the front runners.
We know what's up ahead. We're not going near that.
Oh, what's up ahead?
Well, myconids have certain abilities to enslave with their spores, and they've already gotten a number of us. We're not going to provide them anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. So listen, my fellas are on the cusp about letting you go and making sure that you are not going to betray us. And you're saying that you're not going to go and blab about where we're going, right?
It's easier for me if I'm being honest, if I give your whereabouts and say what direction you're going. They're just going to want me to come back out here, and I'd rather not face anyone here again.
Yeah.
And he kind of nervously eyeballs Drax. The intimidation right there. He just kind of a very brief glance, but.
All right. Well, we're probably gonna do just one more little guaranteed thing, but we think that you're telling the truth, so we're gonna give you that chance. Okay. Now you come back. We're gonna probably feed you to a spider. Just later.
Yeah, we're gonna let you go, but I just need to have a quick word. Can you guys get behind me, please?
Oh shit.
And then I'm gonna have Ingress and Gaul also stand behind me, just further blocking them so they can't fully see. I'm gonna get real close up to him and goes, so, and I'm gonna whisper this one just straight in under comment. I'm gonna whisper to him like, so, I know your face now, and I definitely know where I can find you. And I'm gonna push my hair back, finally I'm gonna reveal my eyes to him. So I have the Haunted One, Heart of Darkness background. I'm just gonna stare at him dead in my, square in the eyes and say, I will find you if I find out that you betrayed us. Do you have an understanding?
Yeah.
And I'll cover him back again, and I'll get up, and I'll untie him.
I'm free to go.
Go.
And he fucking books it. He dives for the small little opening, scrambles through it, and you guys can hear him just hightailing it.
All right. Well, at least we know that the rest of them are behind us, not in front of us. So that's a good thing.
So little one. What did you tell him?
It doesn't matter. He's gone. We're good. He won't come back, and he's not going to spill anything. He knows it's good for him. Should we move on?
Yeah, I'm not fucking with you two ever.
What was
I'm
that
glad you owe me
brown
money.
shit that was coming?
That is a good question. That I know.
How do you not know about yourself?
I thought I bled red.
Can I do an inside check on him to see if I've coming across something like him before? History or something?
I mean, you can do insight if you want to, like, see if he's, like, trying to deceive you or
No, I don't figure that he's lying to me right now. I just want to know if I've got an inkling of what
You
he
ain't never had a friend like me.
We're going to say one. Nice. I think you could do history. You're a paladin, so we'll say history if you maybe came across anything in some of your studies.
I ain't find shit. It was a 2.
You unfortunately were doing a lot of drinking and partying during your studies, so you don't really remember a lot.
I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Okay, so this was after our short rest.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Duel.
So, go ahead.
Lead the way.
Yes, let's continue.
Okay. So, does anybody need to see the map? I still got it.
Yeah, let's do a quick recap of the map to ensure that we are still on the best path possible.
I mean, still just led us down the path.
Why not? But let's just
Going
double check,
like a
make
day
sure.
away, so
Yeah, but we used the map to get there.
Never hurts.
Yeah.
So I mean, still, are we still on, correct course? Are we looking okay? And how much more travel?
We have maybe a day and a half, 2 days at the most, depending on any difficulties or obstacles we run into.
Okay.
how's the likelihood of us running into one of your friends?
Very likely. We have patrol parties, and
They attack us when they first see us if they don't see you.
we have our circle of hunting, the group that I'm a part of. And
But if they don't see you first and they see us,
we typically only come to attack hostile creatures. So
have you not been with us this whole time?
if anyone can control their hostility,
My laughter.
if anyone can control their hostility, and he emphasizes that telepathically,
I'll
then
stay in
we
the
have
back.
we have nothing to fear.
Oh, we are so screwed.
You two.
First off, it's not hostility.
I'll
It's a
stay in the
different way of
back.
persuasion.
I'll stay in the back.
He intimidates. I simply persuade.
I think, especially with Birdman, me and Stool should probably take them. I mean, I can see, I can blend, I can hide, and I can kind of tell you guys if I see anything.
I like that
I'll stay
idea.
up top with you guys.
I'll hold back the
So
four in the
me,
back.
Stool, him, me.
Well, yes, Stool probably right behind me because he's not really a combative. So if
Ah,
anything does come,
I'll be bringing up the back, so everybody in the
I'll
middle.
be with Jim Jar and Stool. I'll be with right.
No. You're behind him.
I'm behind him.
Or you can be next to me. Doesn't matter.
And his 2 other skeleton buddies.
I can put them behind us. That way it's like him and Stool, and then you and me, and then my 2, and then whoever else follows.
All right.
and then our prince somewhere in the middle of it too.
I'm gonna make sure I tuck away my
he still
glow in
with
the
us?
dark necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all the
Okay.
emergencies back.
It just,
It's not needed right now.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, there's
Yes.
you guys are definitely getting into a lot of like underdark vegetation. There's a lot of like glowing things, so it's dim light, but it's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that tucked away.
Alrighty. Okay, so you guys continue traveling, and let's see if anything happens.
Getting better at persuasion.
Intimidation things coming in handy.
That was just a crazy, awesome, perfect roll for that thing.
Yeah, it was.
I love how we were like, I was like, oh, since you're like, it was a 14 re-rolls, it is a 20.
You know what's funny though? That saved that guy's ass.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't persuading him, then it falls on these two.
Well, and I think we only get one attempt at each, so he would have rolled to smack him around, see if he got anything, and I think that was my turn.
Yeah, and I know what you.
Oh, I had some very inventive plans.
I just wanted to cut a couple toes off.
He'll take it to 11.
Okay. So you guys end up traveling nearly an entire day at this point. You don't run across anything, and again, now that you're closer into Stool's home territory, he's able to very quickly identify, edible fungus and things like that. So as you guys are moving along, you don't have to slow down for any rations. You don't have to slow down for water or anything. You've picked up a couple of water orbs, which are rations and water. So it's been a very uneventful trip at this point. The only thing I can say is as you're going closer to Stool's home, the variance and the some of the more odd alien plants that you guys have seen before, you're starting to see in a lot more abundance. Things are just not what you would normally see on the surface, obviously. Now, obviously, Jim Jar, being a native, is, he's seen a few of these things before. Nothing is fantastical. However, the sheer amount and number of like all of these different glowing things as you guys are going through is still kind of awe-inspiring. It's almost like a hauntingly beautiful, picture that you have ahead of you, and everything you're seeing. It's very alien, so it's unsettling, but it's also very pretty to the eyes at the same time. It's almost kind of giving you guys like a sense of normalcy and security with a little bit of unease at the same time.
You said it's been about a day?
Yeah, you guys traveled like almost an entire day now at this point.
With the day going by, I'm going to have to read you my spell to keep my minions up. I'm not going to spend a sorcery's point to twin it, so I'm going to let Gaul disintegrate. I'm going to grab his horns and put them in my dagger slots. Give his sword to Ingress to hold on, but I'm going to recast on Ingress, so he'll stay up for another 24 hours.
What do you think?
So I'm using that spell slot now. I show him.
Cool, thank you. So it's a day's worth of travel. It's up to you guys whether you think it's worth camping again or pushing on.
Hey, Stool, so if you had to
Then I'm going to
guess,
spend a sorcery point to create another spell slot.
we're going in, when we get into your kingdom, is there like a main gate, a side gate, backside door?
How far?
Yeah, how far are we, and what's the best way to go in?
We may be able to reach my home in half a day's travel at this point, if we don't run into any obstacles. I would like to stop and perhaps discuss some finer details on what we may experience when
I
we
think
get there.
that's smart, seeing how our tendency to jump the gun real quick goes.
And
Oh, shit.
is
coming
it
from you.
safer during the day time around your?
So,
your
little
neck of
shots
the woods,
fired.
or-
Listen, I'm not trying to get
Or
fucked up by
dangerous.
mushroom people, man.
We're working at all hours. We have various circles that are responsible for a lot of the basic functions of our society. We have hunters. We have circle that handles the governance. We have our leader. Typically, Myconid colonies have a sovereign as their leader. We are unique in the sense that we have two sovereigns.
I remember there were some complications with your.
We have a nursery circle. We have, yes, there are some oddities, and that's much of what I'd like to discuss before we continue.
All right.
Should we find a semi-decent spot to settle down?
I think that might be why.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Nice
We're
little spot.
not going to have you guys roll for that. At this point, we're going to say it's pretty easy to kind of just step out in a little alcove off to the side and go from there.
So, before we get to some of these oddities, which I'm pretty sure are going to give us some nightmares. And I know this is an odd question to ask. It's like, whatever. Is there something that your type doesn't like? Like, I don't know, like you don't like light or you don't like poison water. Is there anything that you like, hey man, we really don't like this kind of stuff, so that way we can avoid putting it out there and or killing all your people at the same time?
Or offending.
Or offending.
My people don't dwell on the past. We think very much of living in the present. We only retaliate with aggression when we are met with aggression. You will see servants and slaves, and I need to stress that these are individuals who came at us, and we use them simply for protection and to
Bodies to take the blood.
win fodder.
Listen, you and me aren't too different. I got my so get it. You're not gonna have
I
an
was
issue.
just thinking.
What is it that you're not telling them?
We're typically very reserved, as I mentioned, living very much in the present, not a lot of thoughts of the future. There are, however, some of my fellow Myconids prior to me leaving on patrol and getting caught that seemed to be excited about some sort of event coming up. There was not really a lot of specifics. They didn't say much. They didn't communicate much. Normally in my society, it's important that our circles, we have like a nursery circle, the hunters, the protectors, we have lots of different circles that handle lots of functions, and we all take turns communing to share experiences and information. And unfortunately, one of our sovereigns, Philo, has deemed us to only commune with our individual circles, and then the leaders of those circles commune with each other. And it has led to miscommunications. It has led to difficulties in making sure everyone is on the right and same page.
So I got a question, and this is for you guys too. So we each had our own dream, and you still showed us what you saw in yours. The thing we just escaped from, it knew of the Demon Queen, and you know its uprising and demons coming. Still, do you have any inclination that the event that your group might be excited for is that
Potentially
tied to the Demon Queen, whatever event is happening with her, and what we've kind of been experiencing?
I would hate to think that's true, but I cannot rule it out.
Okay, Stool.
I've been away for long. I'm not sure what may not have changed.
If, let's say, they are working with the Demon Queen, and the worst comes to worst, are you going to side with them, or are you going to side with us?
Technically, that'd be three sides.
They're working with the Demon Queen.
Well, no, remember, some of them are excited, others are still normal.
I'm not picking and choosing who I'm swinging my axe at. If they're joining, they're joining.
That doesn't sound too good.
Okay. We can pick and choose to see who's working with who, but long story short, are you going to side with them?
Side with who?
The ones working with the Demon Queen.
Potentially.
Of course not.
Alright.
If anything,
I don't
would
wanna kill
like
you.
our society to return back to normal. And I will say that when we do arrive, I think it best that we refrain from threats. We have a large...
Wasn't going to threaten anyone,
Okay.
just speaking to you now before we
Seems like you're
get to there.
threatening me.
No, I'm letting you know, or asking you, are you going to side with us or them?
I've answered that question.
Yes, and I let it go.
Let's move on.
So, now that awkward moment's over with. You know those things with with your slaves, right? Any way that we can like stop the spores? I know you already said that our communication kind of makes us a little immune to it, but like, is there a way to like, let's say, oh my God, slave coming at me, I could do something to get the slaves to not be so slavey?
There are only certain myconids that we have a circle of myconids that are responsible for converting. So typically when we capture someone, we bring them to the circle, and then that circle uses their special spores to convert them to mindless slaves.
Now we have certain circles only converging with their own inner circles, you said, correct?
Correct.
Which could potentially make things tricky if that circle is in fact right.
Well, here's the question: if they're a slave, are they tied to the people that turned them, or is it that everybody in your community can control?
Once they have been converted, any circle leader has the ability to set them at a task.
So circle leaders, okay. Do they have any sense of self left whenever they're converted, or they're now just a fungus controlling this meat puppet?
It is a fungus that eventually will have that servant die and then return to nourish the world.
Now, is there any circle leaders that particularly like one chieftain or whatever it's called?
There definitely were small factions dividing when I left. I'm not sure where that stands now.
Any way
And
we
now
can easily spot them? Like, are they wearing symbols or anything that let us know who
I
works for who?
I think the best thing would be, since Sovereign Philo is the one that instituted the changes that we seek out
Him?
Sovereign Basidia, because Sovereign Basidia is still holding to the old ways of the Myconids.
All right, so it sounds like we're gonna get in there, talk to Basidia, and figure out where everything is, what the state of the union is, basically.
Yeah, we should avoid
Think
that
it'd
other
be-
guy if possible.
Think it'd be easier if we act like we're already meat puppets to him?
I think they would know.
They
We
would
don't have
know,
any
right?
fungus growing on us.
And that we can't hurt it.
There would only be an attempt to convert you if you were being
Plus, he
hostile.
doesn't. Stool doesn't have that ability to convert. He was a scout, right?
I was
Yeah.
part of the circle of explorers.
So yeah, he doesn't have the ability to convert per se.
I was just hoping for an elemental of surprise.
I think they'd be more surprised if we came looking like we were spored.
You kind of look like that every morning anyways.
Is there any signals that we
Word.
need to gesture that we're allies or friends to your home as we're approaching?
I think everybody, we need a safe word.
Weapons away. Safe word's pineapple.
No, blueberry.
I don't. Well, I do have a couple weapons. No,
I say we keep
I
our,
thought
we keep
you
our
were gonna
weapons,
say-
like,
I
still.
thought you were gonna say you had a couple safe words.
We're good.
I was gonna say Jesus.
I think
Yeah,
we've
let's
got a
move-
good
let's move on.
understanding. We'll stay close with Stool. We'll talk to who Stool. The only impression is still holding on to old
I'll
ways.
be like
and-
this the whole time.
Yeah, just don't talk. I won't talk either. It's fine. Maybe a few words.
I'll do it.
Okay.
What's your
So
first music?
if no one had any other questions for Stool, he just is going to one more time just reassure you that he'll be able to give a better understanding of what's going on once he's back and can see and observe.
How's Darren been? Has he been having his little twitchy moments where he's fighting the beast?
He hasn't been involved in combat or threatened or anything, so it's actually been somewhat peaceful.
I'd like to point out he's one of the worst people ever.
Well, my only concern is if he decides
He
to
ain't
get
done
into a
shit.
mood and gets all pissed off or get agitated, they may find it threatening.
I'll take
That's
care of him.
So let's just.
No, you won't. That's my payday.
I'll subdue him.
Okay.
But yeah, let's head out, guys.
Okay.
Let's go. Well, we're gonna do our rest, right?
We already did our rest.
We have half a day left.
Let's take this half day and go.
Okay.
Book it.
We'll go then.
Double time.
You up already?
Yeah,
Well, no, we're all up and up.
Yeah, that'd be good.
we haven't had any other fights, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
We're all good over here.
I'm just thinking like time of the day.
No. Okay, let's go.
We got dark
The
vision.
Underdark.
There's no sun and moon cycle here.
Forgot. Bird.
I don't know the difference.
Stool.
All right.
Let's go.
So as you guys make your way in, you are starting again to the amount of vegetation, both rotting and decaying and springing to life, the circle of life. You're seeing that in more abundance as you go through. And one particular path that Stool leads you through, he stops and kind of like puts his hand up to make sure you guys stop and then gather around. And he points to a big patch of these like orange and red striped beige cap like mushrooms, like very large, like 4 or 5 feet like wide the cap is, and maybe like 3 or 4 feet tall, covering a big patch. And he just kind of stops and brings you guys in and just does the spores to communicate to you, and says these are very dangerous. They're known as devil's mushroom. We should do our best to skirt around the side and stay clear of them. I just want to make sure no one walks directly through those.
What do they do?
They can cause confusion and potentially poison an individual.
Don't worry about the poison. I
Is there
got
a way
you.
of harvesting them safely?
I would not recommend to try, but I suppose it would be possible.
Can I just rub my axe
Can I have
on it?
Ingress go and harvest them?
Just
Just like a chunk of it off and put it in his bag.
He can try, yes.
He's got a dagger. Have him cut into it.
Okay.
Just roll like a general attack or something.
Yeah, have him actually. No, it wouldn't be an attack. We're going to still have him take a Constitution saving throw.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. Let me see what that's gonna go. Con save.
Yeah.
17.
Okay. So he, as soon as he goes and cuts a piece of it off, it immediately kind of like just collapses in on itself, and then like a huge puff kind of like goes up and settles on Ingress, and doesn't seem to affect him in any way.
So what he cut off.
We'll say it's
First of
like maybe like a chunk
Okay. And you said it was a devil's mushroom?
The devil's mushroom.
But all the spores has
Hey,
landed on him.
Hey, Stool. Hey, the big guy's covered in all this puffy stuff now. If he comes near us, is that going to affect us?
It is possible, yes.
It's out of there.
English, just walk a few feet back, my guy.
Go take a shower.
I'll shake off.
Right there. He's gonna shake off like a dog right next to us.
And then the wind
Yeah, right.
blows from the back.
Yeah, where's the wind direction right now? Well, there's not much wind down here.
Yeah, I don't see anything out. Is there like height or anything like that, or like from the ceiling?
On the other side of this like patch, as you guys, I'm assuming you were just going to keep making your way. You kind of keep your distance as you skirt by it. You notice that there's a kind of like what the little cavern you went into earlier. There's a small little opening just tall enough for someone of Stool's height to kind of walk through with only bending over a little bit. Obviously, you guys won't have trouble getting through it. And on the other side, you can see that there is a ton of phosphorescent light coming through. It's no longer like something that's like dimly lit. It is a lot of light coming through. As you step in,
So bright.
it completely erases all of the fantastic things that you've seen before. Even with the weird mist that happened what feels like years ago at this point. What you see is just an enormous cavern with ledges on each side and another ledge like a little bit higher, a little bit off to the right in front of you, and then a winding path going all the way to the back behind everything where it looks like there's an even larger cavern. There's light coming from everything. You see spore servants, drow, durgar, gray dwarves, you see deep gnomes, you see all sorts of underdark sentient creatures just kind of walking around doing menial tasks, some of them covered in like a fine glowy mist, some of them with, you can see, have like started to decay and like are growing like fungus shoots out of their heads. They have blank white eyes, but they are just going about doing their tasks. And peppered in among them, you see Stool's people. You see myconids of all sorts of different colors. Like Stool himself is very like mottled brown over the length of his torso, but you see other myconids in even more like extravagant colors, like bright oranges mixed with reds. You see like hued down blues and purples and all various different colors for myconids, but still obviously looking very bipedal and similar to him. Also taking care of certain things. You see actually one circle, or like literal circle of myconids kind of grouped together off into the corner of this lower level that you're looking at. And they're clearly doing something very important. They're all like huddled in and looking at the ground in front of them. And after a few minutes, because you guys again are just like kind of awestruck by everything you're seeing, after a few minutes you see in this circle a small little mushroom kind of just sprout out of the ground. And then after a few more minutes you see like small little appendages come out of the side and like a little head start to form and eyes that kind of like are closed and then open. And it reaches a certain point of growth and then just kind of seems like it's just kind of like lulling itself into sleep. And then all of the myconids that were gathered around it kind of like sigh off like a little bit of what seems like maybe perhaps exhaustion. And then their formation is a lot more relaxed now. It seems like they're kind of recovering from what they've done. Stool is very quick to point out that is the circle of growers, and he takes a moment to explain their sole purpose is to keep propagating their species.
So we watch this thing just peacefully and calmly grow out of the ground and kind of nestle up.
Yeah, over like the course of like 10 minutes maybe.
While and we're like walking towards it as it happens, basically.
No, you guys like you could see, and you were like where you stopped and you came in. You're looking at all the things I described, and then landed on that and just were kind of transfixed and watching what was happening.
Seeing it crawl from the ground so peacefully and be content once it's out, I have a very distasteful look.
Meanwhile, I'm like kind of in awe and a little freaked out by the mushroom head people looking guys, thinking like, oh my god, that could be me. Then I noticed that there's some really pretty looking mushroom people walking around, and I look at Stool, who's kind of just brown, and I say, hey, Stool, are you considered like the ugly dude in this place? I'm just wondering, because like that's a really pretty looking version of you, and that one over there has got like mad cool looking colors. I'm just trying to gauge what's hot.
Stool, you guys have been doing the teleportation, the telepathy with him through the spores for a while now, and you've actually been able to start picking up on some of his emotions or thoughts, and what you're picking up from him right now at this moment is confusion. And he's like, I've never considered that. We never really think about beauty in that way. Like,
But I think for Stool,
That means he's the ugly one.
that'd be bad if Stool was bright colored and a reconnaissance person, because he'd stand out. I think brown suits him for his role.
Oh, you're so just tactile, aren't you? Tactful.
But
aren't
why
you?
were you looking at the baby all disgusted?
That's not really none of your concern, though, is it?
So
It was just a question to get
is
to
it
know you.
cool
I
if
just
I
figured it was
maybe
just dark
fly
and
around for a
twisted,
bit?
didn't
School, like, is there? Because
I
this is the most airspace I've seen in a long
I wouldn't recommend separating from the group. I think it would be best that we figure out what's going
should
on.
worry about this guy.
Be the only guy who just decides to take off in a brand new city and be a flying target.
It's the first time I can see clearly.
I can see clearly.
Hey, how about you stand there and just flap really hard?
Go fly away.
So, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but the cavern you were in before, where you fought that big giant demon ogre orc thing. One of the things that you got food off of was a zirkwood stalk, which is a huge, tall, like basically the equivalent of a tree in the Underdark. And you see many of those along another entrance into this area of much larger, thicker stature. And you're all very surprised to see something kind of like come through the entrance. You can't. It's a little hard to tell, but it looks like a gray dwarf, like a Dorger, trying to run away from something. And you see one of these giant Zirkwoods smack down on it, pick it up as it's like thrashing around, crush it, and then drop it from like 40 feet up. So
Jesus.
Did you say this was okay to eat?
Am I gonna grow tall?
Stool quickly points out we have the ability to animate Zirkwoods, and we use them for sentinels. So this is also something to be careful of.
That's dope.
That's new.
Oh my god.
We only had 2 when I left.
We're gonna die.
I'm not sure why there's such a focus on defense right now. It's a little unsettling.
So, we should probably meet the chieftain that you were talking
Yeah, we should
about.
get down.
You
and
wanted
get
to
down.
fly around it.
We
I
should have let
did.
him.
These are details I did not know.
It would be a good idea. We should make our way up to the second level up there. That's typically where the sovereigns hold their circle.
We're following you.
Okay.
All right. As you guys start making your way through, you start to come across a few other groups or circles of myconids doing various things. You see let me see. Sorry, 1 second here.
Don't say nothing like that.
You see a group like almost in the center of this this like expanse that you're in right now. And you didn't see them before because there was like only 2 or 3. They've gathered a few more now, and whatever communication they had, they break off, and you see some of them like scuttling away and like climbing up the sides of this immense cavern. And again, you guys kind of stop because you're just curious and wondering what's going on. And as you see them climbing up the side, you see that they're going across the top of this cavern way up high, 200-300 feet above you, hanging upside down and picking what looks to be some sort of like fungus that's growing across the top. They're picking and gathering and dropping it down, and some of the ones who didn't crawl up the sides are going around and picking them up off the ground and putting them into a pile off to the side. You see another circle, group of myconids come up beside that group. These ones actually look like they have some like crude weapons, and they have a lot of drow spore servants around them that also are brandishing weapons. They grab a few of these things that have been plucked from the ceiling and then stick them into packs, and Stool takes a moment to explain they're taking rations with them. They're going to be going out and and hunting. That's the circle of hunters. And you had a question. But as you guys are watching this, tramping down the same path that you were taking up is a very large myconid, much thicker and stronger and built, heavier than Stool, and really kind of muted kind of blue with a cap that's kind of almost like a hat sitting off to the side. And then Stool leans over very excitedly and lets you, it's Basidia. She's approaching.
She.
And then Basidia walks up and says, Stool, we have a problem. Maybe we'll find out next time what's going on.
See ya!
Let's go.